I like this that you're saying, because I mean we've talked about experience and how that transformed you and gave you all this insight and all this experience, if we want to say it again, and brought all this wisdom to you where you can understand and be grateful for the different instances of your life. But I think this is important for the day, for the everyday uh, a living. I always said that it's really impractical to think of, somebody that's in line to just in the mountains, or in nature or in the temples. We have to live it in the day by day, every day, and this is very important, especially for our audience. And how can you make that space, especially someone like you? How can you how you do you commune? How do you worship? How do you pray? How do you meditate in what we can call living in divine flow? When, like we're saying, you have a divine within. So this final segment, living in the divine flow, it means that spiritual insight is nothing if we don't live in it. In this final segment, we'll bring the conversation into daily practice: meditation, self-observation, visualization, presence, and the art of staying aligned with the divine within. This is about moving from spiritual ideas to action, choosing flow over fear, awareness over reaction, and harmony over resistance. So how can we apply this in a daily living, these teachings, and how can you, or what do you suggest we do as habit? Because a lot of what you've been saying is habit forming. It's not just learning about something, but it's really practicing it and making it a habit.
Sustaining it. And I think that in the daily affair, in going out and coming back from your own home, from your own space, we got to learn that we're on constant transformation. I mean, I'm not enlightened until I'm gone and no longer here. But what I can uh, testify to is the law of mirrors. You go out there and you learn that everything is a mirror to you. Everything. And if this guy's doing
Hmm.
something that's checking you and not, generating this harmony within you, you check yourself and see, why am I reacting to this? And then if this person is extraordinary, well, instead of, wow, Jeff Bezos, my God, no. I mean, you have that potential and you have this piece of the puzzle that only you can bring into the entire puzzle. And perhaps right now,
Hmm.
there's pieces of the puzzle where your piece goes that are not in place. So you keep on working on your own self. You keep on allowing things to unfold. And the best way to do it on a daily basis is just your breath. Just connect with your breath.
Hmm.
This is what I teach when I teach meditation is, oh, hey, can you show me how to meditate? I've tried, but I can't, never been able to put my mind in blank. And well, it's not about putting your mind in blank. It's more
Yeah.
about connecting with this space you're in and inhabit it. And, the mind will want to go race forward or want to go slow backward, but you gotta just reconnect with this space you're in, this moment, this sacred ground you're in. And
Okay.
the best, easier way to do it is by connecting with your conscious breathing, by inhaling. I mean, there's all kinds of methods. I understand that, but what it works for me is deep breaths. Inhale, exhale.
And everybody
Inhale.
tells you this, Eamon, and not only, I mean, from all the different traditions, I think breath, and it's where you connect, where you're bringing the world in and you're taking the world out. So, yes, that's why it's so important. Definitely.
Yeah. In this octave, we take the first breath and then we start crying, or they slap you on your booty and then you start crying when you're a baby. But, what about if we would take every breath we take in like our first breath? Because breath has frequency, it has chemistry, it has universal energy. And if we become aware that when we're breathing, we're not just inhaling air, we're just filling ourselves and repolarizing because we're there, we're conscious, we're present. It's going to do amazing things for you. I mean, it will help realign, repolarize, heal, and even transcend mind blocks, emotional, ¿cómo se llama? Telarañas,
Yeah,
emotional.
the cobwebs.
And it's all in the breath. It's all in the breath.
Awesome, awesome. So breathing. What else can I mean? Think it. What happens to me when I'm meditating and when I'm breathing is, and like you're saying, you become conscious of your surroundings, of the space within you. You kind of project your consciousness at at that. You know, you take it in, right?
Hmm. Ritual has its place, but we've displaced its place.
Okay.
And I'm going to use an example: Christmas. Christmas, we gather together. It's the jolly season. Family comes together from faraway places, and it all becomes about the presents. But what if we would realize that the present is really the gift of now? The present. When you get a present, you don't look at it and just leave it there. You unfold it and you pull it out of the box. And if it's a blouse or a shirt or shoes, you put them on. So the present is the gift.
Yeah.
And when you meditate, it helps you come back into the gift. And the gift has dimensions, it has depths. So you can come back deep or you can come back externally, superficially, but it allows you to really value your surroundings. When you're in a meditation mode, you don't have to sit in lotus position. You can just be aware, breathing, conscious, eyes open. And you'll start noticing things that you like at home that you hadn't really noticed, or perhaps your wife looks prettier than you really
Mm-hmm.
thought, or even you look more handsome in the mirror than you thought. So the present is the gift. When we're in the mind, in the future, in the past, in the meeting, and the whatever, we are losing our sight of the present, being
Okay.
present. So to me, meditation strengthens your bond with gratitude, strengthens your bond with awareness, strengthens your clarity of mind and purpose. So meditation is wonderful if you apply it properly. It's not about blanking the mind. It's not about, all the names they give to the postures and whatever. It's about really unwrapping the gift for which you came together on Christmas and really wearing it. And it's high time for people to wear their Christhood, Buddhahood, Godhood, whatever you want to call it. But it's time to wear our best version of ourselves.
Our divine fragment and become this. I like what you said about being the piece of the puzzle, that we have to become that piece, and that sometimes it's hard. And we've been talking about this, that you fear and you have to trust, and faith comes in here. But that you're transforming and you're evolving into that piece, even if that piece of, or that section of the puzzle isn't there yet. It eventually will be there, because we're all part of I love this concept of the supreme, that we're all part of this God the supreme. We're all working towards the evolution and the perfection of the universe. So we all have a part in this puzzle that you're saying. So I really like this. And how
You,
can people find that space, or that place in the puzzle?
well, in the book, I name it cooperative component.
Okay.
Cooperative component. So, cooperative component can be people, can be synchronicities, can be opportunities, can be changes. There's cooperative components in place for your highest or most premium version to unfold, but you have to be a cooperative component with them.
Yeah.
In other words, it's like it's a circle. It's
Mm-hmm.
you want to see that puzzle come together, and you're eager to place your part, your piece, your piece.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, there's a couple other pieces there that are not in place. So where is my place? Where do I
Yeah.
place this? Well, then you come to understand that that piece you're holding might look pretty and you might feel like it's time, but it's not, because you don't know where to put it because its place is not there yet. So you
Yes.
go back and you keep growing and you keep evolving. It's I look at it as spirals. We're energy spirals, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
energy spiral goes out, right? And it's circle and it comes back, but it doesn't come back at the same level. It comes back in a higher level unless you're in a downward spiral, but it'll
That's
come
why it's
back.
a spiral. It's in the same radius, but it moves forward, upward or downward.
Yeah. And now when it goes out, and here comes the law of consequence. When it goes out, light vibration will bring back that which it picked up on its way out. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're aligned and you're sending love and you're good and you're helpful and you're friendly and you're, relaxed, well, in that very life experience of yours, you're going to start reaping better experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand that if some shit comes back, and I'm sorry for my language,
Please
to
do
you
so.
and it smears on your face, then it means that it's a process and it was
Yeah.
something that you did inadvertently or unconsciously or egotistically. But you keep on trusting. We lose our faith, we lose our trust. Not talking about religion. We lose uh confidence in the process. We have to trust. We have to trust. Every day is about trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. How many successful people have reached success way past their 50s,
Yeah.
you know?
No, and
And
that
they've
didn't
worked
throw the
toward it.
towel
Yeah,
at the first a failure. They trusted the process and they kept on going forward. Of course.
exactly. And they cave in and they go back into their old momentums and their old selves, and they uh let go. And in my understanding, doesn't mean that it's the law, but in my understanding, you will come back to that place, whether it's in this lifetime or the next, and you will pick up the stitch where you left it and keep on stitching your tapestry,
Yeah,
your
exactly.
great creation. And you are your great creation.
That puzzle piece, you're still going to be creating that puzzle piece. And I like what you said, that that sometimes you have the piece, and it's nice and pretty and you want to put it, but the place is not there yet. So you have to really understand that sometimes and then sometimes it means that you're maturing and you're evolving, and you're not there yet. And sometimes the moment is not ripe yet. So it's very important to kind of understand this, understand the times of the universe and be in time with the universe, I think.
And you can ask, hey, so what happens with that when that happens? What do I do? Help others get there. Help others get there. Maybe you got money and you need somebody to place their piece there, but they're struggling. Share. It's about sharing. It's about, you came here butt naked and you're getting out of here butt naked, but perhaps you can't fulfill your purpose yet because your purpose is helping others complete their piece, and then you'll start seeing the whole puzzle. That's why we're one. That's why we gotta stop, as light bearers, if I would use that at old school, but it as way showers, as
Hmm.
whatever. We have to work together, not because you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're this or you're that, or this is my sect and that's yours. You know, those are fragments, and there's nothing going to happen unless we stop fragmenting ourselves and we become whole. And before we see any real lasting transcendental change out there, we got to do it here. And not just me, everyone. We have to align ourselves with our highest version, or our highest version sounds even far fetched, with our
Hmm.
premiums. We got to align ourselves with all those qualities that are in us. And we have to make an effort. People ask me, well, how can I align myself with God? I don't know. How can I understand what God is or who is God? Or, well, if you were created in an image and likeness of something that does not rust, does not expire, does not stay here when all is said and done, then start aligning yourself with those qualities. Instead of attaching yourself to the Hermes bag or the Rolex or the car or the title or the business or the whatever, start aligning yourself with the energy that does go beyond this
Yeah, the
realm.
mundane, the material
Yeah.
realm that we have. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Kindness goes far, you know, patience, understanding, tolerance, forgiveness, gratitude, joy, all these qualities, they vibrate nicely.
And
We gotta just
they're
remember.
eternal, and I think this is very important. And if this is something that our audience can take, is that strive for, like you said, not the bag, not the car, not the material, but the value that transcends this physical plane that we are going to take. And something that I believe. I mean, we have material experiences. We're part material, we're part spiritual, and we have this reality where we interact, but it's what we create here, the bonds, the helping somebody else, the relationships we build, the love we give, like you say, might sound cliche or trivial, but it's the love that we put out that really is going to be eternal, because we're going to be, I mean, this body is gonna go away, but our acts and that love that we gave and that we brought to this world is going to transcend and be with us throughout eternity, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That which is atemporal. I don't know how you say atemporal. Timeless.
Yeah, timeless, exactly. This is pretty interesting. And now, can you tell us a little bit more? I mean, you've been telling us a lot, actually, about your book and what you the message within the book. But tell us a little bit more so that people can read it. They can check you out, and we can. I mean, we're gonna share all your links here. But tell us a little bit more about your book.
Well, this is my fourth book. Its title is That Deep Little Book because it's deep and it's very shallow, not shallow, but very light. It's written in a very digestible format, and it will cover experiences, personal experiences. I shared my life experience when my dad died, even younger. And it's not necessarily a book that will tell you how to do things. It's a book that shares with the reader how I did things. My previous
Hmm.
book called Medita Conmigo talked about the styles and the meditations that I used to teach, and very more in a intellectual or in a logic
Hmm.
way. This book is more like sharing what I am in the process of becoming or in the process of revealing based on implementing the teachings that I picked up. And like I said, we never get it right. We never get it done. I keep transforming myself today. And every time I become aware of what's happening out there, I realize, wow, what a beautiful message. I've discovered that the universe or the source or the conscious universal consciousness is telling you something through things. And this book uh, will reveal methods of how you can discover that, how you can discover this
Yeah.
language that goes. It's real subtle, and if you're not present, you will miss it. You will miss the track. You will miss the mark. You will miss the opportunities to expand. But when you start tuning in, and it has some nice exercises to help you tune in, it's got some beautiful affirmations or decrees.
Hmm. Hmm.
I used to do a lot of decrees. In fact, I believe I was a priest in one of those temples in Lemuria, probably, because I got into this science of the spoken word and invocations. Um, but I'm now a little outside of that. I still
Hmm.
practice it, but for the longest time, I would decree for hours daily for years, and it helps lift your vibration. The oscillation strength behind the words, especially if they're rhythmical and they're enlightening.
Definitely, definitely.
will generate this vibration that will strip you of denser energies, cleanse your aura, your force field, align, help you seal those rents within that force field that we have ripped open through drugs or alcohol or energy lashes like hatred and
Yeah.
whatever. So it won't tell you much of that work, but it does have some really nice stories and really nice herramientas, prácticas
The
herramientas,
tools, the tools.
good
Well,
tools.
that's really important for nowadays. You know, it's not just the idea behind it, but how you can really apply it to your life. So I think it's a practical book. That's what I liked about it. Well, like you say, you can put it in practice. It's not just a theory. So yeah, I think the our audience can really benefit from it. And well, it's been a pleasure. I mean, we've talked a lot about how to put all this into practice of really trusting that the universe is always working on your favor. And I really want to thank you for being here. Any closing remarks before we go?
Well, I'm grateful for the invitation, Santiago, and I think that knowing that our families have grown along together and that your grandparent, your grandfather and my father and whatever energy in the family is funneling into this truly purposeful uh, encounter, relationship. It goes beyond credence. It goes beyond beliefs. It goes beyond programmings. It goes beyond hereditary stampings, and
Yeah.
it's really open to something wonderful and marvelous. And I commend you for your effort and for your work and for putting out all this information in your podcast. And I thank you and Nacho for the invitation. And I'm always ready and open to diving deeper.
Definitely, and this is just the beginning. And thanks for being here, and thanks for your kind words. I think there's a lot of things to explore, and a lot of things that we can bring and talk about. So, thanks once again for being here, and for everybody that watched this. I invite you to subscribe. Remember not only to share this, but to talk to people if you liked it, and tell them that we have very good conversations over here if they want to learn it. So. Thanks for being here. I'm Santiago Kneeland. This was The Divine Within. Take care and carpe diem. On the Divine Within podcast, we'll share real conversations to help you find a personal connection with God. My goal is to support your faith, growth, and journey toward discovering the divine within yourself. Join us to deepen your faith and spiritual journey.